Welcome to Garage Gym Athlete Ask Me Anything. It's pretty simple. I'll be answering questions from the thousands of athletes that follow our daily programming. If you have a question or topic you want submitted, go to garagegymathlete.com/AMA. Let's get started. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Garage Gym Athlete Podcast. Jared Moon here with Joe Courtney. What's up, Joe?
What up?
Not a lot. Doing another Ask Me Anything. So we have, let me pull it up here. Steven asked a few questions. We're only going to do one today. He has a lot of great questions, so we will get into some of them otherwise later. But his question for today is bodybuilding versus garage gym athlete. What are the differences and what are the similarities? And I would like to know, Joe, what bodybuilding, man, do you have a past history with bodybuilding?
A little bit, yeah. You know, when you're in the military, that's pretty much what you do. And even if people tell you to work out, they're telling you bodybuilding workouts. So
it's weird that is like how people work out in the military.
Yeah.
It's across all branches. You know what? I don't have a lot of experience with the Marine Corps. I have a few Marine Corps friends, but a lot more experience with the other branches. But it seems back and buys and no leg day is how you hit it.
The pants you wear in the military are so big, you can't tell if you have small legs.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. I started in bodybuilding, like pretty hardcore. My, I guess he's a second cousin. Sometimes I refer to him as an uncle. So if you've heard me say different things, he's my dad. He's my dad's cousin, but he's a lot younger than my dad. And because he, was just born later, whether through a sibling. And so, but he was much like an uncle when I was growing up, but he's definitely technically a second cousin. Anyway, he was a Navy SEAL. And then he got out and opened a gym, like a bodybuilding, like Gold's Gym type thing. And he was a hardcore bodybuilder. Always had a lot of respect for him. He's a big reason I even got into fitness in the first place. We went on a beach vacation when I was younger, and he just looked at me and was like, "You are way too skinny." And I was like, "How do I not be skinny? I didn't know you could do something about that." He's like, "Yeah, you could work out." And I'm like, "Well, tell me what to do." And he sent me, this is like, I want to say pre-internet days. Obviously, I'm not that old to where there was pre-internet days, but it wasn't as easy as it was now. Like, so I waited. He actually mailed me my first program, and it was a 12-week program of bodybuilding, and it had the diet and everything. And so I got that in the mail a couple weeks after we got back from that vacation. And I talk about drinking the Kool-Aid, people do like CrossFit or whatever. I did that in bodybuilding hardcore. I was like measuring every body part, following really strict protocols with diet and everything. So I got really hardcore into bodybuilding. There's a lot of good that comes from that. Also a lot of bad. The good is, I think hypertrophy or muscle building in general is a really great place to start in fitness. I just think it's a good place. It's very safe. It helps you build muscle to be able to use later on for more performance-based stuff. The bad that comes with it, and this is not something that like 100% of the time happens with bodybuilding. This just happened to me, was the mental side of it. And a lot of guys I know suffer from this. So I know I'm not alone here, but the whole, oh, my arms feel small, or like I'm shrinking, and like that mindset can really start to screw with you over time. And it got really bad with me. Like I always want to be bigger. Like I always want to gain 10 more pounds of muscle, like forever, always just keep gaining muscle. And, always worried about the size of biceps and quads and calves. And, oh, why is this, why are my calves smaller than my quads? And just all this crap, so I got a little too hardcore. So that's the bad. And I'm not the technical, like exercising bodybuilding, that's not involved, but I know that happens to some dudes and it happened to me. So I want to throw that out there. But I would like to I'll dive into it a little bit more too, but I would like to hear from you, Joe. What do you think are the differences from a training standpoint, bodybuilding versus what we do?
So right off the bat, it's goals. You talk about bodybuilding, that it's aesthetics based, and you talk about ours, it's performance based. So with our tracks, it's either you're getting stronger, you're getting faster, you're getting more conditioned, you're worried about those type of metrics and how are you feeling and monitoring heart rate and stuff, versus bodybuilding, it's okay, what's the scale and what's the mirror say? What's this measurement say? So that's the main big ones right off the bat, I think.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. So aesthetics versus performance is kind of the, like, that's it. The bodybuilders, while some of them are pretty strong, they're not known for being strong. That's not like what a bodybuilder is. They might have really big muscles, but that doesn't mean they are really strong. I guarantee you could put me next to a bodybuilder who's like my same height, but like looks ridiculously jacked. I might be able to squat more than him, just because training performance and training hypertrophy are so very different. And I think that's one thing that needs to be known is like, if you're training to look a certain way, that's what it's all going to be about. Like eating has to become a job if you're like a hard gainer. And yeah, you're doing a lot of concentrated movements. So concentration exercise, like a bicep curl, like a leg extension, hamstring curl, tricep press down, bench press, one arm bench press, skull crushers. You're doing all these things and not much else. Your cardio is normally something like zone 2 for the fat burn. Bodybuilders had it figured out a long time ago on how to burn fat. And, we're kind of diving into that stuff now too, but I would say that's kind of bodybuilding. We're more strength and conditioning. So a lot of performance based, like you mentioned, we're utilizing heart rate monitors, and we're worried about intensities and energy systems, and how much can you lift, how fast can you run, how far can you jump. But the cool thing about it is, if you don't want to be a gigantic dude with 25-inch biceps, if you follow a performance-based program, you're going to look pretty good in the process. Like that's going to happen. So it's not like it comes at the cost. Like, oh, you want to follow performance, you're going to look like crap, but you'll be strong. Like that's not generally how it happens. Like you can still get a 6-pack and have, a decent amount of muscle mass, but follow a performance-based plan. And so and I would say, I don't even think I heard the words energy system in like the 10 years that I did bodybuilding. Like I don't even think I knew that those existed. Bioenergetics was not something that you hear about. You do hear a lot about supplementation. You get offered steroids, and I'm going down. Stop. I'm not going negative. Not going negative. Bodybuilding is awesome. I like it. I think it's a great place to start in fitness. But there are some pitfalls, just like there are in the performance world. So anything else to add?
Yeah, I mean, we do what we call concurrent training, and I just think bodybuilding is kind of an asset of the concurrent training. So it's a piece of the puzzle that we use with, like we call body geometry, which is similar to bodybuilding a little bit, with a lot of supersets and a lot of different movements. And that's just one little piece of the puzzle. But then if bodybuilding is great to have, especially for a foundation and for, locating muscle activation, because some people just don't know how to mind muscle connection to certain things, and bodybuilding can help with that. But I think it's still incomplete because you're still not getting all the energy systems and all the benefits of the other things.
Yeah. And I mean, just a quick breakdown of like all the different types of training, and I'll do it quickly. There's bodybuilding, which is like hypertrophy, muscle growth. There's powerlifting, which they only care about getting stronger and bigger, because mass moves mass. So the bigger you can get, the more weight you can move, even if that's at the expense of your health. That's powerlifting. Weightlifting is Olympic weightlifters. They are concerned about how much can they lift in the snatch and the clean and jerk. That's it. And they want to get really good at those movements. Then we have CrossFitters who do a lot of high intensity stuff. Wait, no. Not going to get into my opinions of CrossFit. High intensity functional movement, or constantly varied functional movement performed at high intensity. That is CrossFit. That's what they do on a daily basis. And then there's concurrent training, which is where we fall. So that's where we're blending a lot of strength work, hypertrophy, and also aerobic conditioning, or conditioning in general. For us, that is all the different strength methods and all of the different energy systems combined. When I say for us, I'm talking about garage gym athlete, how we do it, because not everyone does it how we do it. And did I miss anything? Then there's the recreational walkers and joggers and bike riders.
Endurance people.
Yeah, endurance athletes. Endurance. Yeah. I really feel like endurance athletes should be concurrent training athletes. That's why because I think if you're a runner and you're not doing some sort of strength training, I'm going to go ahead and say you're wrong. It doesn't need to be our program. If you're like, I want to be a marathon runner, that's fine. Like we don't breed elite marathon runners in our programming, but if you're not at least doing some air squats or some like back squats, that you're probably getting injured a lot. And if you are, that's the reason you're not doing any strength training. But there's endurance. Now, have I missed anybody? I don't think so.
That's good enough.
That's good enough.
Broad enough. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we could get into every single little thing, but that covers a lot of them, I think. All right. Anything else?
I think that's good.
Yeah. If you want performance for life and you want health, Concurrent Training and Garage Gym Athlete is the direction to go. Bodybuilding is pretty healthy, and so I don't have a lot against it. I just I do want to run a fast mile, and I want that to be something I track, and amongst other things. I think it's more fun to be performance-based because you can do cooler stuff. It's more usable muscle and performance. So that is it on this week's podcast. If you guys want to join the conversation, go to GarageGymAthlete/AMA. We'll get your question answered just like we did Steven's today. If you are watching on YouTube, leave a comment, a like, subscribe to the channel so when new videos come out, you get access to them. If you're listening on the podcast, 5-star review and positive comment really helps us reach more people looking to be garage gym athletes, do things in their garage, train, have questions like this. So go ahead and leave those reviews and ratings where we can help more people. And that is it. Until next time. I hope you enjoyed today's Ask Me Anything episode. So one more time, if you want to submit a question, topic, or idea, you can do so at garagegymathlete.com/AMA. And hey, while you're there, if you haven't already, sign up for Garage Gym Athlete membership. We are the best community and programming on the internet. I dare you to try and prove me wrong.